DreAllDay.com.
We are talking averageness now. Not how to be average, but how to not be average. How to avoid averageness and stay completely away from being average. That's what we about to get into right now. My name's Dre All Day. A lot of y'all know who I am. Y'all was just watching the previous Q&A. We're doing a Q&A marathon right now. What is today? Sunday, December 20th, 2015. 11 days left in the year. I'm taking all questions about being above average, being completely away from the word average. We don't even want to be above average. You want to be completely out of the neighborhood of anybody talking about being average, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we about to talk about right now. I'm taking all questions about your mentality, about your confidence, about your belief, about separating yourself from the crowd, rising above what everybody else is doing. Those are the things that you want to do to stay away from the average, because none of you want to be average. Obviously, if you ask anybody, do you want to be average, everybody will say no, but it's impossible for everybody to not be average. Does putting in more work matter, or what the work is? Quality over quantity. You need both. You need quality and quantity. You need to be very good and you need to do it a lot. You need both. So there's no quality versus quantity debate. It's not an either or thing. You need both of them. You need to be very good at what you're doing, and you need to do it a whole bunch of times so that people know you can do it, so that you develop a track record and that you continue to have success. You can't be successful just one time in life. You got to do it over and over and over again. So there is no quality versus quantity here. I'm not an either or type of individual. I'm more of a both type of individual. If I got a cake, I'm eating it. All right, if I'm eating, I gotta have a cake. So there is no either or, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you're watching me for the first time, make sure you are following me here on Periscope. You don't want to miss anything that I'm doing here. A lot of my videos that I do here on Periscope, I do put on YouTube, but not all of them. And they go up when I get around to putting them up. They come up at different times, everybody. How do you have a beast mentality? Define to me what a beast mentality is. Give me some definitions of what that means, because that's a vague statement that can be taken several different ways. So you got to get clear on what you want before I can help you. Why do you get judged for doing something different and stand out like a black sheep? Because you're doing something that most people wouldn't do. That's why they judge you, because they couldn't do themselves. They couldn't do that thing themselves. Yes, this is 10 minutes. Killer instinct, be a little bit more, is more specific than that. That's not specific. Saying killer instinct can mean 1,000 different things. Tell me specifically what that means. Like being better than everyone on the court. Work on your game until you are. Quality and quantity, like you just said. How do you know you're doing things above average? When people start to criticize you, when you see yourself doing things that nobody else is doing. If you're doing something and everybody else is doing it, then you're pretty much being average. Who's my team? Work on your game is my team. I was adding to whoever asked the last question. Yeah, I know you were. That's why I'm saying that still wasn't clear enough either. It was just as vague as the killer instinct, beast mentality. Those don't mean anything, ladies and gentlemen. I know they sound good. I know people post on Instagram about them, but it doesn't mean anything. You got to actually be specific about what you want. Can I ball? Look me up on YouTube. You'll see a little bit about me. But we're talking about right now being above average. So we're talking about averageness, getting away from averageness, being all above everybody else out there. So where's the questions at? I want to take some questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting right now. We're doing 10 minutes. We got 7 minutes, 50 seconds left right now. We're talking about averageness. We're talking about confidence. We're getting away from averageness, being above everybody else. Who is this guy? All right, he got to go. All right, he asked me too many dumb questions. All right. Driving KHCL says, being on the scope will get you above average. Well, sometimes. I mean, there's a lot of people on Periscope, so eventually an average group will come about. You understand? What about being cocky? I'm glad you asked that question. The thing is, if somebody calls somebody else cocky, that's probably because that person who's being called cocky has a level of confidence that's so high that the person who's accusing them of being cocky has never even fathomed having that level of confidence. So that's why they call them cocky, because they try to criticize what they don't understand. I didn't catch that last question somebody asked. So are most college D1 point guards athletes average, because most of them average 5 points per game? I don't know. Well, are you one of them? As if you're not, then why are you talking about what they're doing? See, that's what makes you average, talking about other people. What you need to focus on is what you're doing, not what most people are doing. Yes. How do you deal with average people? Well, you're going to deal with average people. It's inevitable, because most of the world is filled with average people just by definition. So you still have to set the example and do your thing. You can use average people. They might be your employees. They might be your coworkers. They're going to be your teammates. But you still have to live up to your own standards. So don't measure yourself against everybody else. Measure yourself against what you can do. What do your friends want to keep you average like crabs in a barrel? They can't keep you average. All right. If they're keeping you average, why are you still hanging with them? Why are they still your friends? What about basic bitches? Well, what about them? Are you one of them? If you're not, then why are you concerned with them? See, that's the thing. Don't be concerned with what other people are doing. You got to be concerned with what you're doing. I feel you. I see the need to hear that stuff. Just focus on me, nobody else. Exactly, exactly. What's the first step to becoming above average? The first step is to stop looking at what everybody else is doing and start focusing on yourself. What you need to do. Measuring yourself against your standards and not what everybody else is doing. You measure yourself against everybody else. Even if you're above them, you're contributing to the average just by raising it a little bit. So to use being average as motivation for not being average, I'm not sure about that question. Royal Queenum said, I go so hard. Well, thank you. He said, 99% of my people in my high school are average. Listen, 99% of people in the world are average. But again, if you're focusing on them, you're going to start to become them. Whatever you focus on, you create, ladies and gentlemen. So if you focus on people being average and talking about them and trying to be better than them and why they're not good, then you're going to start to become one of them. Be different from the others. Exactly. School and basketball get in the way. No, school and basketball don't get in the way. Get in the way of what? What are they getting in the way of, ATCA 22? What is it that you're trying to accomplish at school and basketball are interfering with you actually doing? How can I measure myself against someone who's above me, like to reach their level? By just doing it. What do you mean, how can you do it? Your answer is right there in the question. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're average. Exactly, in a general sense. My friends are, should I stay away from them for above average people? Listen, if you want to raise the level of your performance or where you stand in life, you need to get around people who are all at a higher level than you, because you'll be forced to raise your game up. If everybody around you is where you are, you're going to stay there. If everybody around you is lower than you, you'll eventually get down there to where they at. Do you think it's better to have an average game and a bad mindset, or the other way around? I can't even understand that question, why it even matters. Why are you even asking that? I mean, school has some things which are a waste of time. Like what? Well, what is it that you're trying to accomplish, ATKA 22? You didn't answer the question. What are you trying to accomplish that school and basketball are getting in the way of you doing? How are they stopping you from doing what you want to do? Tell me that. Tell me that. I might be able to go work out with Kyrie Irving this summer, so I'll raise my game because he's better. Yeah, I think that would definitely raise your game. Ask him some questions too. Take some things from that workout that you can use after the workout. Don't just get that 1 hour or 5 hours in or whatever it is. Rambo, cool. We're talking about being above average, getting completely away. We want to get out of average country. We don't even want to be in the same country as average. Not even in the same box, not outside of the box, completely away from the box. Are we trying to get completely away from anything that has to do with being average? How do I differentiate the average person in school and basketball from the average person in school and basketball for being a student athlete? Then that means you need to raise your school game and raise your basketball game. Simple as that. And again, don't focus on what they're doing and try to outdo them, because then you're still contributing to the average. You need to focus on what you're capable of and measure yourself against those capabilities and not against other people. I'm taking videos, recordings, all. Yeah, definitely do that. What's going on, Princess Turnbill? How you feeling? Where you checking in from? We are talking about confidence right now, Princess. We're talking about not confidence, but averageness, and confidence can be a part of that. Raising your confidence above the average, raising your performance and your mindset above the average. Is good grades important to make the basketball team? I think you can answer that question. I'm doing fantastic. Listen, we right here, we got 3 minutes, 15 seconds left, and we talking about getting above average, getting away from average people, raising the level of your life, of your performance, of your mentality, maybe the way that you eat, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress, the people you hang with. Can you be above average in some things while being above average? And can you be average in some things, above average in other things? Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's just super everything and every single thing that they do. Yeah, Miami in the house. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 minutes, 49 seconds left. No, Michael, it's not that simple. Because see, if you focus on not being average, then you're still giving your mind a directive to focus on average. See, that's the thing that I talk about that in videos many times. I'll be talking about that in my next book. If you're focused on don't be something, then you're telling your mind to actually be it. Your mind doesn't understand negating things. It only understands literally exactly what you said. How you cut out average people if they're some of your closest friends and make new friends. Your answer's right there in your question. How do you deal with parents who want you to be average? Well, like I said in the previous one, lock your body, can't trap your mind. So even if you're stuck in a situation where you have to be around those people, it doesn't mean you have to think like them or do like them. You can choose to think however you want. Nobody's forcing anyone to think anything. Nobody forces you to say anything. You can think however you wish at all times. How do you cut off average people? You just do it. Your answer's right there in the question. You can't be extraordinary doing ordinary things. Exactly. Somebody said do a school Q&A, or I might do school next. What if you had no choice but being around average? Again, like I just said, they can lock your body, they can't trap your mind. You can be locked in jail and still have a positive mindset because you choose your mindset. Yes, the environment influences it, but the stronger your mind is, the better you'll be able to control the way that you think. So you have to have complete control over your mind. If you want to get better at that, read my book, The Mental Handbook by Dre Baldwin. Also read The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Also look at the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, the 50th Law by Robert Greene, and who's the other guy? 50 Cent. Somebody said it's connection issue. Well, nothing I can do about it. We're not going to stop it here. We got a minute 15 seconds left. I'm going to keep this one going. We got a minute 15 seconds left. The next one, hopefully the connection will be better. It's hard to cut off your good friends. Just help them up to your next level. Okay, well, if you can help them up, then help them up. Then you already got your answer right there. If you think you can't help them up, or you want to cut them off, or you want to get some new friends, then you can do that too. Another thing you can do is they can still be your friend, but you don't hang around them so much. You get around the people who will raise your level up, then you come back to get them later on. So I try to get them to be above average as well. What will probably happen is they pull you down. That's generally what's probably going to happen. So what you need to do, instead of focusing on pulling them up, what you need to do is pull yourself up, and then you can set the standard up here so that they come up to where you at. This video, I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at Dre All Day, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Facebook /WorkOnYourGame. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course, and the website is WorkOnYourGame, that's .me, WorkOnYourGA.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, DreAllDay.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on